In Big Rapids with the national champions, Cassidy Cobb, 9 and 10 News. One of the first things that Coach Mack said in the press conference today was how happy he was to be back in the mountains. But it's not just the terrain that he's familiar with, it's actually the game itself. Back in 2013, Coach Mack was the head coach at Colorado State, where he completed the come-from-behind win 48-45 over Washington State. To 11 player Glen Lake taking on Montague, and let me tell you, this was probably the best football game I've ever seen this year, possibly ever. This is the 72nd year that canoers will be taking the AuSable River, but tonight we're getting a history lesson and going back to 1947 for the first ever race.
Yeah, it's huge news. Cassidy Cobb joining us today to tell us more about what's going on in Hockey Town out there.
Yes, it's been such an exciting day to be a Red Wings fan. Hall of Famer and three-time Stanley Cup champ Steve Yzerman is coming home. Have you been on your phone today, like everybody else?
Everybody is a buzz.
Facebook and Twitter. Yeah. I know the second I saw it when I woke up this morning, I checked my phone. I jumped right out of bed. I was like, oh my goodness, this is great. So everybody's going nuts. But just an hour ago, the captain was officially named the general manager of the Detroit Red Wings.
9 and 10's Cassidy Cobb is at the ballpark where gates just opened. Cassidy, there are lots of people coming out tonight.
That's right, Kevin. It's a sea of red that's coming in and all throughout the ballpark tonight. Division 8, the Beale City Aggies facing off against Ubley. And to say this was a defensive brawl would be an understatement. First quarter, Bearcats with the handoff, but they're brought down by a whole horde of Aggies for that third down stop. Later in the first, Beale forces Ubley to punt it away. Trey Small receives the kick, and he takes off, but is hit hard and fumbles, and the Bearcats recover it. Ubley would capitalize on that. Colin Oberski breaking free for the first score of the game, just like Gabrielle and Troy in High School Musical. Aggies would get an even, though, so don't worry about that. Wade Wilson goes to the outside and finds some room to run. Beale City would win it in a nail-biter, 21-20, and will play Reading in the finals on Friday. The Pickford Panthers have been on a roll, not dropping a game since week 3. They took on Hillman, who also only has one loss on the season, and the winner reserves their spot in the finals next weekend.
9 and 10's Cassidy Cobb is live at the ballpark with its new name. Hi, Cassidy.
Whitney, Pitt Spitters Park is no more. Now you are looking at Turtle Creek Stadium, and that, like you said, announcement coming just a few hours ago. And at that press conference, there was a feeling of so much excitement and opportunity. After the Spitters won the Northwoods League Championship this past summer, they became an even hotter commodity for someone to step in and put their name on this successful championship team. Keeping it TC themed, of course, it was a no-brainer to make this long-term deal between two hot spots in the area. With this new deal, there will be more to come on how the ballpark is utilized as an entertainment venue, and both Joe and Michael, who you just heard from, told me they have some ideas that they're trying to pin down. But honestly, especially with it being snowy and blowy like it is right now, we're just counting down the days till baseball season is back here in TC, and that home opener is May 28th. Live at the new Turtle Creek Stadium, Cassidy Cobb, 9 and 10 News. And I know a lot of people got a lot of joy from that Duke game. Yeah. Take me back to that in your own words, what that game was like.
Well, first of all, you know, they just announced today that we're playing Duke at home this coming up year in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. But, you know, I haven't fared too well. I think I was like 11-1 against Mike or against Duke. And so, you know, we had a lot of big games, a lot of close games, I think 3 or 4 in the NCAA tournament. But this year, they were the #1 overall seed. And being in Washington, D.C., we had a lot of fans there. And winning that game will be a double memory maker. That'll go down a little bit more. I shouldn't be at that point in my career where things like that really excite me, but it did, and I felt good about that, and I felt happy for a lot of our Michigan State alums.
Well, and you beat me to the punch with that question I was going to ask. It was just announced just a few hours ago, from what I understand. So you're going to have them at home. It's your 25th season coaching the Spartans as a head coach. What are we going to see? What do you expect?
Well, I expect Mike to be a little mad.
Matthew, it was a high-flying reveal today for the Pitt Spitters from these guys. I know at your press conference you had even said you're like, we're going to get right into workouts and we're going to get this thing going. And the reaction obviously has been good for that, because I've seen some pictures and I've seen these guys and you're getting along and everything seems to be gelling really well.
Well, it's been a little shock to them. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
And yet, you know, it was interesting when I have the opportunity to meet with every player one-on-one and you know, to a man, you know, they're hungry.
Have officially cracked the top 5 of our top moments of 2019. The 5th spot going to CMU, making history on the ball diamond. This past season was one of their best in team history, not to mention under the direction of first-year head coach Jordan Bischel. If you got even a glimpse at Pelston's football team this year, you know how much energy and passion they brought to the field. We're introducing you to the player behind a lot of that despite what he's been through, Lakota Worthington, the heartbeat of the Hornets.
The football field is just his arena this year.
Pelston football had quite the year, making the playoffs for the first time in program history, thanks in particular to one of their seniors, Lakota Worthington.
I think that we rally around him for sure. I also think that just his calm demeanor, like he's steady the whole time.
Football has always been a big part of Lakota's life.
It's helped me a lot. It's pretty much been an outlet for me for a very, very long time.
After school and practice, Lakota heads home.
Just do my thing.
But not to his parents, dinner waiting on the table, or someone to talk to about his day. Lakota lives all by himself.
It's an experience. Being able to do it by myself is kind of crazy to think about.
He gets himself up every morning, making sure he gets to school, practice, and his part-time job, all while cooking, cleaning, and maintaining his home. That's because Lakota's father passed away in May, just a few months after he lost his older brother.
It is kind of hard coming home and not having my support that I've had with my dad. It's been one of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with, for sure. But he tried to tell me before it happened that if something like that ever happened, he just wanted me to keep going. And I told him I would before it happened, and I made him promises, and I'm gonna make sure that I fulfill those promises.
He promised to graduate high school, go to college, and keep living his life to the fullest.
I actually just got accepted, one of them. I got accepted to Lake Superior State University. So yeah, I just got that the other day and I was like, wow, one step closer.
And his commitment to those promises does not go unnoticed.
He still comes to school, still passes his classes, still dedicated to the sports teams, still works a part-time job. You know, I think it really shows a lot of resiliency on his part. He is our emotional heartbeat on the football field, on the basketball court, and the track.
The three-sport athlete has taken an experience so devastating most of us can't even imagine, and used it to fulfill his goals and encourage his teammates.
If you meet the kid, you'd have no idea, you know, what he's been through, because he's always positive, he's always upbeat.
Through this tough time, the Pelston community has come together to do their best to lift Lakota up and love him the way his dad and brother did. A love he felt when they crowned him homecoming king this year.
The stands were full, all my family was there. The people that have been helping me out for a really long time were there.
Lakota Worthington is living proof that no matter how hard life gets, you can push through, and eventually everything will be okay.
Just make sure you don't lose hope. Make sure that you keep doing what you need to do. Just know that there's always something out there for you, something to look forward to.
I would like to add that Lakota has so much support from his other family members and the people in the Pelston community that he's very thankful for, whether it was raising money for him through a community tailgate or taking him grocery shopping. Plus, he has his aunt and cousins that live right across the street. Lakota and the Hornets finished their football season last week with a record of 8-2, and now they look ahead to basketball.